For decades, people believed that if they slept 7 to 8 hours a night, their bodies would surely recover. But reality tells a completely different story. Across the modern world, millions of people go to bed on time, set their alarms late, lie in expensive beds, in quiet rooms, and still wake up feeling sluggish, groggy, with a racing heart, and a body that feels like it never rested. They turn to coffee, energy drinks, and high doses of caffeine, not for enjoyment, but to survive. They don't lack sleep time, they lack quality rest. Meanwhile, in Japan, a place that seems perpetually busy, stressful, and high intensity, millions of people sleep less, 6 hours, sometimes only 5.5 hours. But they wake up in a completely different state. They're not rushed, not dizzy, no immediate need for coffee. Their nervous system is calm, their heart rate is steady, their minds are clear, their bodies feel light. That difference doesn't come from genetics, nor does it come from modern technology, smart mattresses, or advanced sleeping pills. It comes from very small, subtle habits, formed over hundreds of years of interaction between biological science and living culture. As a sleep health and neurology expert, I can confirm this. Deep sleep isn't the result of sleeping more, but rather the result of putting the nervous system in the right state for rest. The Japanese have done this quietly, consistently, and extremely effectively. Today we won't talk about quick tips, products, or hacks. We'll delve into 7 Japanese sleep habits, one by one, clearly explaining the biological mechanisms, neurological effects, and how you can accurately apply them to modern life. This isn't just a story about sleep. This is the story of how a culture has learned to soothe the human body in a noisy world. Habit number 1, cool air, calm mind. When night falls in many Japanese homes, the first thing that happens isn't to turn on the lights, turn on the TV, or pull the phone closer. Instead, the temperature of the space begins to drop. Bedrooms are kept at around 13 to 15 degrees Celsius. To many Westerners, this number sounds cold, even uncomfortable. But for the human brain, it's the ideal condition. Biologically, to enter deep sleep, the body's core temperature needs to drop by about 2 to 3 degrees. This isn't a preference, but a neurological requirement. When the body can't lower its temperature, the brain can't activate the deep sleep stage, where growth hormones are released, where nerve cells are repaired, and where the immune system is strengthened. A cool room helps the body achieve this effortlessly. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, cortisol, the stress hormone, decreases. The sympathetic nervous system recedes, giving way to the parasympathetic nervous system, a biological state of rest and recovery. The Japanese don't try to create comfort in the sense of excessive softness or warmth. They create biological stillness. The cool air soothes not only the skin, but the brain as well. It sends a clear message. There's nothing to be vigilant about, nothing to react to. It's time to rest. Second habit, support is more important than softness. In many modern cultures, sleep is associated with soft, thick, sinking beds where the body feels like it's sinking. But human biology isn't designed for sleeping in a state of destruction. In Japan, most people sleep on futons, placed directly on tatami mats, a firm, flat, but not rock-hard surface. This creates a very different biological state. With the spine naturally aligned, the respiratory system functions more efficiently. The lungs expand evenly. The vagus nerve, one of the most important nerves regulating sleep, is better activated. The brain receives safety signals from the body. Sleeping on a firm surface reduces the number of micro-wakes during the night, moments when the brain has to wake up to adjust posture. Fewer awakenings mean longer, more stable, deep sleep cycles. Each morning, the futon is folded up. This isn't just a tidying up act, it's a neurological ritual. The brain learns to clearly distinguish between spaces for rest and spaces for activity. When the futon is unfolded in the evening, the brain understands it's time to rest. When it's put away in the morning, the brain switches to wakefulness mode. This clarity helps to naturally stabilize the circadian rhythm. Third habit, the ritual of hot baths resets the nervous system. Before going to bed, many Japanese people perform an almost sacred ritual, the ofuro bath. Hot water at around 40 degrees Celsius, soft lighting, no rushing. It sounds counterintuitive. Why warm the body before bed? The answer lies in the subsequent cooling mechanism. When you soak in hot water, blood vessels dilate. When you step out of the tub, heat dissipates rapidly. This sudden drop in temperature is the strongest signal to trigger deep sleep. In addition, soaking in hot water reduces muscle tension, relieves joint pain, and most importantly, slows brain waves. The nervous system shifts from beta awake, tense, to alpha and theta, relaxed, dreamy states. For many Japanese people, ofuro isn't about hygiene. It's meditation. No phones, no loud noises, just breath, water, and presence. In that moment, the nervous system resets. The stresses of the day are released before they even enter sleep. The fourth habit, respect fatigue and listen to your body. In Japan, fatigue isn't seen as weakness, it's seen as information, a reliable biological signal. This culture even has a very specific concept, inumuri, sleeping while present. A short nap on a train, in the office, or during a break is not negatively judged. It is seen as a way to self-regulate energy. Conversely, many other cultures glorify exhaustion, working late, staying up late constantly, ignoring fatigue signals. This keeps the nervous system constantly on alert, disrupting circadian rhythms and breaking nighttime sleep. When you respect fatigue, you allow the body to adjust before it is forced to collapse. Nighttime sleep becomes easier, deeper, because the nervous system no longer has to fight against overload. The fifth habit, strategic 20-minute naps. The Japanese don't try to endure the whole day in a state of exhaustion. They use purposeful naps, around 20 minutes, no more, no less. This duration is sufficient to refresh the prefrontal cortex, the center of focus and decision-making, without entering the deep, lethargic sleep. Neurostudies show that proper short naps can improve memory, concentration, and emotions. But more importantly, it reduces the pressure building up on nighttime sleep. When the brain isn't overloaded, it more easily enters a state of deep rest when night falls. Habit number 6, digital twilight protects melatonin. Despite being one of the world's most technologically advanced nations, the Japanese take the boundaries between light and darkness very seriously. An hour before bedtime, bright lights are dimmed. Bright screens are avoided. Lights are switched to warm tones. Sounds are softened. Blue light inhibits melatonin, the most important hormone regulating sleep. When melatonin is disrupted, the brain cannot switch to resting mode, even when the body is tired. Protecting against darkness is a simple but powerful way to keep the circadian rhythm functioning correctly. The 7th habit, subtle support from pillow to breath. Traditional Japanese pillows, often containing bark or small seeds, are neither soft nor saggy, but self-adjust to the curve of the neck. They keep the neck in a neutral position, reducing pressure on nerves and blood vessels. When the neck is properly supported, a constant sense of security is sent to the brain. Many combine this with slow breathing, such as the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. This breathing rhythm activates the vagus nerve, slowing the heart rate and bringing the body into a state of deep rest. These 7 habits, when considered individually, may seem insignificant, but when combined, they form a biological ecosystem of tranquility. Good sleep doesn't come from luxury, but from a deep understanding of the human body. Japanese sleep culture reminds us that sleep is not merely the rest of life, it's its foundation, and sometimes it's the quietest habits that bring about the deepest healing.